first-time home buyers what they need to know when it comes to understanding the real estate market today. We need to understand what it's going to do over the next few months. That way you can make an educated decision on whether right now is a good time and most affordable time for you to be buying a home, or whether you should wait for the future. First, housing affordability has improved for the second month. According to the National Association of Realtors, the Housing Affordability Index report, they put out this report every month after analyzing tons and tons of data. Now they came to a conclusion that they realized that mortgage payments fell by 1.1%, which means they take up 1.1% less of the typical family income coming in each month, while median income only fell by 0.07%. This means that homes are slowly getting more affordable. Payments are now taking up less percentage of household income than they had before. But of course, does this mean dramatically tons and tons of inventory and availability and affordability? Unfortunately, no. But it does mean that we're headed in that right direction. No one wants us to keep continue rising at these unsustainable affordability crises, where mortgage payments are just taking up more and more families' take-home income. Even though housing affordability is improving, this does not necessarily mean that buying a house right now is gonna get any easier. I can testify to this because I know I work every single month and day with home buyers just like you. So when I'm helping my clients write that offer in this market, and it is still a crazy market, I found this great report from Zillow, which said nearly 1/4 of the US home sellers received 4 or more offers on their home in 2021, according to their Consumer Housing Trends report. I'm sure you have already jumped into the market, or you've got a pre-approval done, and you're starting to make offers on those homes, or at least you have in 2021. You have experienced these awful bidding wars, and you're not alone. Nearly 1/4 of home sellers experience multiple offer situations on their homes. I do not believe it is impossible to get in contract and have an offer accepted if you have to use financing. You do need to understand the seller's situation. What might be their motivation? How can you shape your personal situation and what you have to offer to present the best offer for the seller? Sometimes this does mean move a couple things around. As long as you consult with your real estate agent, you're putting in the strongest offer. Soon enough, you are going to get a house and be in contract. If you are following me and you know that affordability of homes is improving, which this is a good thing, but we still have many multiple offer situations. What is causing all this competition? I hope all your brains are going towards supply and demand, because I have discussed this before in other videos. It is 100% supply and demand. I have a nifty chart that I want to share with you. Take a look at this graph from Keeping Current Matters. You can see here the first half of the buyer traffic in each state. So why this demand is high? First, there are historically low, very low interest rates right now. Second, the pandemic has many people working from home, either for the time being or potentially working from home with that option of moving forward an indefinite amount of time. Additionally, the largest generation, millennials, are now at prime home buying age. Essentially a whole other generation of individuals who are now college graduates or have had several years in that workforce. Maybe they're starting a family, or now they're at that stage where they want to buy that investment and make a financial responsibility to purchase a home, which is also a very smart move. All three of these things came together at the same time, while we've been in the pandemic. This is why supply is low. We have had insufficient new construction being built, which has been spanning over the past decade. In addition to this, because of the pandemic and just kind of this change in mindset, Many Americans are choosing to stay in their homes longer and build up equity rather than moving houses every few years. When you have this huge demand but the lack of supply, this is precisely where the competition has come from and why we still are seeing those multiple offers on properties. With all this being said, I feel like the next thing we need to talk about is if we have low inventory still and there's tons of competition for your buying, should I jump into buying right now and competing, or should I wait? There's one thing that I want us to look at that might help you make that decision. Let's take another look at Keeping Current Matters published an article where they spoke with several mortgage experts. They had a kind of projection what they think interest rates are going to do moving forward throughout the rest of the year and going into 2022. Now, why this is important is because interest rates have a direct impact on what your mortgage payment is going to be every single month, which influences to a great degree how affordable your home is and how much home you can actually afford. As you can see in the first graph, we're looking at mortgage rate projections across the board. We're looking at 3.17%, all the way up to the third quarter next year. We're looking at over 3.5% on our interest rates. That might not seem substantial, but as I said, it has a huge impact when you're buying a home. When rates rise even slightly, it affects how much you pay month to month. So if you wait until next year to buy a house, let's say we look at a house that's $350,000 loan amount at today's rate, which is 2.99%. That monthly payment will be just over $1,400. But next year, if we hit that 3.55%, that payment for the same purchase price would be over $1,500 a month, just because of that interest rate. So, in my opinion, if you're sitting there watching this video contemplating, do I jump into the market now? Do I try to take advantage of these really good interest rates? Or do I wait until it's a little less competitive? So here's my advice to you. If you have the means to compete in this market and write a competitive offer, jump in. I have had success having upfront conversations with my clients about here is what I'm seeing in our market. Here is what you need to compete in this market at this price point. When we set that expectation up front and how we'll need to craft their financials to make a great offer, we have seen major success. But maybe you don't have that money to cover your closing costs, or you don't have that money in case the house doesn't appraise and you have to pay that appraisal gap. It might be in your advantage to wait for a less competitive time, even if that means you have to buy when interest rates are a little bit higher. I know that's not ideal, but ultimately, I can't tell you now is a great time to buy, now is the worst time to buy next year, buy in 2023. No one can make this decision for you because I don't know your personal finances as you don't know mine. So considering that, you kind of have to reflect, think about what might be best for you and your family. I would say right now, even if you're using a loan or have excess money that you can save up, is only going to help you when it comes to negotiating great deals and making an offer on a home. All right, so now we got that all out of the way, and I hope I'm not scaring you too much. But I do believe knowledge is power, and you have to understand what the market is doing to make the best decision for you. I hope this helps you think about what is the right time to buy or when to wait. As always, my name's Genevieve Partsch with Hearthstone Real Estate. Have a great home buying and selling day.